130,000 students took gap years versus the 40,000, between 40 and 60,000 students before the pandemic. But could this end up paying off for you if you can really add that life experience or really get the edge on other students? So, Brad, I'd be curious to know what you think.
You know, I'm still an advocate for the co-op programs out there. And if you take a gap year and you can afford to, that's amazing. Perhaps it's also used as a time to be able to build up some of the finances ahead of that college first year as well. We've seen even more colleges also moving towards rolling admissions, which will give you an opportunity at more times of the year to enroll for that perhaps next semester or for the fall semester on your own schedule. But perhaps getting some of that real world experience, whether you choose to travel and experience a different culture or get into the corporate culture, that's a good opportunity.
It's interesting what led us here. You had colleges dropping the ACT and SAT requirements, which surged applications to an all-time high and brought acceptance levels down around 4 and 5% at those top schools. So kids are actually using a gap year to refresh their resume and have another shot to get a fresh look at themselves. The consultants say you're never going to get into the school that denied you prior, but you can look very different to other schools. The fact that there are gap year consultants, Rachelle, tells you all you need to know about this. I think it's a really interesting trend. I think in particular, you find yourself. You figure out what you actually want to do, not what you thought you wanted to do in high school. I think it's a great move if kids can afford it, and in particular, if you can find some experience in the real world as well.
And I think it does take off some of the stigma that used to be associated with a gap year. Now it's about finding yourself. Back then, you looked at as something of a train wreck if you didn't go, straight into college, if you didn't leap right in. But when you consider how many of us are actually using the degrees that we signed up for, maybe it's a better idea to sort of step back, figure out if college is for you. We did a whole segment on a lot of these employers hiring without people needing a 4-year college degree and all that college debt.
I think about how many times I would have transferred during college if I would have had my way to get into a different program entirely as well. And so, yes, about finding yourself. A lot of college students, either in their education or even still thereafter, are looking for that opportunity to find themselves. I didn't find myself till I was at Quarter Deck in Arlington, Virginia, where they've got good crab. You know that, Rachelle, down there. All right, everyone, we got to leave things there for today.
I was trying to find myself.
Well, you found yourself here with this lobster at the bottom of that lobster roll container.
All right, Rachelle.
That does it for us here this afternoon. Catch Yahoo Finance Live tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Our closing bell coverage begins 3 p.m. From myself, Rachelle, Dave, the entire team behind the scenes. Thanks for rocking with us. We'll see you Thursday.